Still all the shields in this. Nice got knife.
Grab your skill to that.
What's
your skill to that?
Exactly. It's like that's what it is.
I've
been surprised at how many kids' heads that was. So that was good, maybe.
Is it steel?
There's always a trade-off between the weights and the section.
Yeah.
So, yes, one of each?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's two in there.
Great to left blows.
Okay, thanks for that.
Shoulder off as well. You'd have that, you'd have the shield, you'd have the
Jump on, Daddy! Jump on, Daddy!
Basically, it's just set fire with a lot of the base wood as well. It can take a long time, but it was a lot less effort. Just finish off by hand. I suppose there's all different ways to do
You know when you put the snail at the
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2018. Fantastic show. We really enjoy ourselves here. Have a great afternoon, and we'll be back.
Can't hold a sword, can't hold an axe, can't hold a spear, can't hold a bow. Still all the shields in this. Nice got knife.
Grab your skill to that.
What's
your skill to that?
And that'll do the job perfectly. They've got a skeleton. He's taken a blow to the skull, possibly with a hammer, mace. So that's the point. Exactly. It's like you've probably got a chest full of ice at home, okay? Because they used to trade in ice. Yeah, the Romans had ice.
Where would they get it from?
They used to sail as far south as they could, and hope they stumbled across an iceberg usually. And if they could, they'd chop a big chunk off, or they'd tow it back to the Middle East. So they start off with a massive iceberg. By the time they got to the Middle East, it would be significantly smaller, but it'd be enough to sell, and you'd make an absolute million of that as well.
Rabbits are nice.
Rabbits are nice, exactly. Yeah. Also got deer skins. This is a reindeer skin. Again, same sort of thing. You could sell that to a sultan for an absolute fortune. Could if you think about it. They don't have many reindeers that size. That's beaver. Beaver was extinct in the UK by the time of the early medieval period, but it was imported to the UK from Sweden and Norway and Scandinavian countries. They were still living there. There weren't many left, which means they were very rare. So it's a very high status piece of fabric, even a piece of fur. Got different. I always mix up the deer species, but we've got roe deer, fallow deer, another one, and wild boar. Wild boar, yeah. Yeah, well, he's from France, actually. So he's Pierre.
He's still got his hoof on.
He's got a hoof. Yeah, he's still got his nose, a snout, and everything. But hunting wild boar is quite an interesting experience. Basically, you usually use dogs. You'd hunt a wild boar with dogs. You chase it until it was exhausted, because you don't try and hunt a fresh boar because it just messes you up. You corner it, and ideally, you use one of these. This is a boar spear.
Stay away
You
from
can see
it.
it's got wings on it.
Yeah.
Now the wings are there, so when you thrust your boar spear through the pig's flesh, the wings get caught between ribs and against the skin and things like that. They don't thrust all the way through. If they thrust all the way through, it'll get to you. So you want to pin it to the ground using the boar spear.
want to get near it.
Then hopefully a friend of yours who you're hunting will use one of these and finish it off. The siaks. Every man and his dog carried his siaks in this period. They were very common. Some people say it's where the Saxons got their name. It's a very distinctive blade type. It's got a broken back. So it's got a broken. We call it a broken back. It's blunt on one side and it's razor sharp and pointy. And that's the typical kind of siaks blade shape. It's carried in a horizontal sheath, suspended by two hoops, and for some reason carried upside down. Always was. All the depictions, all the ones we found in graves, are all carried this way. We don't know why. It's just how it is. Just one of those things. Yeah, it's probably fashion. Literally could just be fashion. A lot of things we can't explain either come down to a ritual, or that's because that's how the king carries his sheath, so everybody else does. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Now, going back to the boar, if you miss with that first thrust, he will take your legs out, and he'll be travelling probably at 20-25 miles an hour whilst he does it. So it's going to hurt. It's going to take the wind out of his sails. He's going to do a 180 in his own body length. And he's going to insert this probably about there, and he's going to unzip you in a flash, and it's going to happen probably in a couple of seconds. You're not going to have a chance to defend yourself. It'll be over. You will then spill out over the ground, and he, with a great big porcine smile on his face, will then eat your soft parts because he's omnivorous. He will quite happily eat a warm dead thing.
That's why you need the big long spear.
That's why you need a big long spear, that's why you need dogs, and that's why you need a mate to hunt with. Preferably a group of people to hunt with, because then it will get confused between the different people. It won't necessarily just charge at one person. But, and the socialists in the crowd will love this, it was illegal for your average hoi polloi to hunt these animals. It was restricted only for landowners, so you're talking lords, jarls, thanes, princes, kings, dukes, counts, that kind of thing. And it was usually those people that got killed on boar hunts.
Let them do it. Go for the rabbit.
So we as a country over thousands of years have actually lost quite a few princes and lords and even kings to boar hunts because it was seen as a very manly endeavour for obvious reasons.
Sounds like it was.
Yeah, it's like the deadliest game kind of thing. You know?